I want John again to play some Immaculate Grid. Very humbled by the last couple performances of 271 and 272's grids. So I'm going to go and play an older grid number 25. Try to end on a high note for the day. So second last day of the year, let's get grid number 25 spooled up here. We'll do the time version and the rarity version and roll right into it. So I'm sharing now. I've got 25 and I'm going to hit play. So away we go. All right, let's go Scott Rowland. And Bobby Bray works. Bob Boone. All right, Pujols. Grab Edmonds. Sweet. Let's see, Silver Slugger here, Cody Bellinger. And then Gold Glove here. Let's just keep going. George Brett, I'm sure won a Silver Slugger. And then over here, Frank White seems like a safe bet. And then just any Dodger to win a Gold Glove. Oh, why am I Beltre? No, I'm not even sure about that. Because he was in the same league as Roland. Shoot, I'm over a minute now. How about Mondesi? 2%. All right. So 2% on Mondesi, 70 seconds or so. I really should come up with someone. I just thought of someone else. Even had a couple lower rarity scores here, so that's useful. Bob Boone here is about 5% for Phillies and Royals. All right. Well, this is this will be interesting. We'll get Silver Slugger and Gold Glove, but not at the same time. Edmonds at 9%. That was I guess they had three because three outfield Gold Gloves. That was a safe pick because if it was center field Gold Gloves, Edmonds had to compete against Andrew Jones, but I mean, I think they were both winning Gold Gloves for a little while there. Beltre, I'm not sure about winning a Gold Glove because he was competing against Roland at the same time. They were both a great defensive third baseman. I think Beltre was better, and I think he won Gold Gloves, but I don't know if he won Gold Gloves for the Dodgers. So I might go back and take a look at that. I might have been able to get that under a minute had I pulled the trigger on Beltran. Maybe I'm just gun shy because I messed up the last couple rounds. Anyway, let's do a stop share, and find the was it this one? Yeah, that's the one I messed up before. So we'll scroll all the way down to grid number 24 here, 25 rather. And now we got a controlled approach. So I know a good Silver Slugger here is Bob Forsch. I think won the first couple Silver Sluggers for a pitcher with the Cardinals. So he goes sub 1. That's just the hat, the hairdo, the wispy mustache. That's an interesting look for Bob Forsch. And while we're on the topic of Silver Sluggers who are pitchers, go with Mr. Tim Leary. Goes 0.2 for the Dodgers. Royals, man, that's gonna be a tricky one to think about. I'm gonna skip over here. Cardinals, a good one is a frequently used individual named Bobby Shantz. He won a Gold Glove playing at least a partial season with St. Louis. He goes 0.2. And then I believe I've looked up that Willie Davis won a Gold Glove, which is, I mean, when you're in the same league as Willie Mays and Roberto Clemente, that's tough to edge yourself in there. But I think Willie Davis did win at least one or two Gold Gloves in there. So he goes sub 1%. I'm gonna grab Mr. Schoolboy Rowe over here. He's a go-to for the Phillies and Dodgers. And I am finally gonna not botch this. I don't know if it's the lowest possible rarity score. It's not, but I'm gonna go with Mr. Baseball, The voice of my summers growing up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and that's Bob Uecker. Also known as Harry Doyle from Major League or from the TV sitcom Mr. Belvedere. Goes point 0.3. Okay, so that's where Bob Uecker stands. Let's see, Phillies and Royals. Jim Eisenreich is another name that comes to mind in addition to Bob Boone. Carlos Santana will work, but that's relatively recent. So it might have a little bit of a strong recency bias there. Ooh, I just thought of someone. The other Mike Jackson, or Mike Jackson as opposed to Michael Jackson, the early yeah, he hit both teams because he's pictured with the Royals and he definitely played with Phillies and the Indians. I remember looking this guy up because I accidentally got him while I was searching for Michael Jackson, the closer that I remember from the 90s. So he goes sub 0.1%. So I've got a couple of those so far. So I'm doing all right. I mean, these guys all up to one. These guys add up to almost another one between them. So I'm at two-ish right now. But Royals, Silver Slugger, and Gold Glove. Salvador Perez will absolutely work for both. I'm not sure if Alex Gordon ever won a Gold Glove. I'm not sure. Um, Alcides Escobar. I think what was winning Gold Gloves. He's a very good defensive shortstop, so it surprised me if he didn't. Um, Beltran, I would be surprised if he had never won a Gold Glove. George Brett, I think, won a Gold Glove in there and continued to get votes for Gold Glove as a third baseman, even when he was a first baseman, later in his career. And I just know that fun little tidbit. Um, so that's the only reason I'd be because he obviously won Silver Sluggers, although even there he had to compete against Wade Boggs, but he Silver Sluggers first year is 1980. That's the year George Brett um wins the MVP, hits 390. I don't know if he actually I think he would have won later when he was a first baseman maybe, but he was competing against Boggs, so it's possible he only has a couple Silver Sluggers. In any event, he was very popular in the last game. He took well north of 40%. He's not remembered specifically as a glove man. And that's why I think he would be an interesting pick here. I say interesting because I'm not saying it with a ton of confidence that he'd be low because he's the most famous Royal of all time, but he's more famous as a hitter than a fielder. So that's why I'm going to go George Brett. Oh, that was terrible. Okay. I'm just going to say I learned something. I didn't think George Brett was going to be a high pick for Gold Glove because of his reputation as a batsman, but I think a lot of people either applied the same logic I did or remember the same story I did about him like getting Gold Glove votes when he was no longer playing the position anymore. I'm gonna close out with Willie Wilson here for Silver Slugger. Because I think he won an early one. He won the batting title in 1982. He edged Robin out by 1 point. So I knew he would work. And so I had a 3 outside of. So Willie Wilson had 2. I think there's some rounding going on here because I was at 2 with all the rest of these guys. Willie Wilson is 2 and George Brett is 15. So maybe he's like 1.5. But there were 15 options, and I probably picked either the second or third worst. I forgot how White did when I played him. Who would have worked better? And remember, the Gold Glove goes back a ways. So Hosmer's winning Gold Gloves. Mark Grudzielanek wins a Gold Glove. Alex Gordon does win several Gold Gloves. Jermaine Dye. I never think of him as a glovesman. Saberhagen, I think I knew. I should have been able to get Saberhagen. I should have been able to get Bob Boone. Al Cohen's. Wilson is in there too. Amos Otis, 3 Gold Gloves. Okay. Cohen's and Otis, I think, would be the good picks just because of how far back they go. long do you play? All right. Cubs is a really good 1977 season. All right. Well, thank you so much for playing. Looks like we had a 18 on this one, which is not too bad. I think I'll end there for the day and see my family's back, and then I hope you all have a great New Year. I'll try to get one more game in before the New Year. But if I don't, it's been a lot of fun. I'll try to keep it going in 2024. Thanks a lot for playing. Peace.